All right. It is 7 p.m. on this December 13th, and I will call this town council meeting to order. Welcome everyone in attendance and those who are tuned in online. Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Amos?
Here.
Mr. Reed?
Here.
Mr. Dwyer?
Here.
Mr. Parrott?
Here.
Mr. Yolen? Mr. Hunter?
Here.
Mr. Hardy?
Here.
Thank you. All right, we will, as we normally do, process into invocation. I will lead that. You're welcome to join if you wish, or not join if you wish. And then we will follow up with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. Reed. All right, thank you. We've made it through another year. Find ourselves here in December. I like to say thank you to all the folks who regularly tune in and all the folks who regularly show up and actively engage. We appreciate you. Next item on the agenda is adoption of the agenda. Do I have anyone who wishes to change anything in the agenda, or do I hear a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Do I have anyone who wishes to make a declaration of personal interest at this time regarding the agenda? Not hearing any, we will move on from that and move into the public comment period. Do we have anyone signed up to public comment tonight, Ms. McKay?
No, sir.
Anyone in the chamber wish to speak? Public comment period. Not seeing anyone, we'll close the public comment period and move into the consent agenda. You have the minutes from the last work session and regular session from November in front of you. Do I hear a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
Make a motion. Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Next item is the finance report. Has it changed much since the work session, Ms. Moore?
No, but we're actually going to talk about November because the work session was about October.
Ah, well played. All right, thank you.
You have the November package in front of you, and for November we earned $15,572.08 at VIP, which has our total since investing at VIP at $126,366. For the sweep accounts at Benchmark in November, we earned $15,927.98, so that has a total of $115,146.53 since investing at Benchmark. And then in the LGIP for the month of November, we earned $33,675.16, which brings our total to $526,737.96. So for the month of November, we earned $65,175.22 for November. Any questions?
Do you have any questions for Ms. Moore? No, ma'am. And thank you for continuing to itemize the rescue squad report. I appreciate that and noticed that as well. All right. There's the November 2023 finance report. Do I hear a motion to accept the finance report as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the finance report as presented.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. All right, we'll roll into old business. 10A, request adoption of resolution number 2023-1201, authorize town manager to execute a contract between ABM Building Solutions and Town of Farmville. I think this will go in tandem with the following one, but Mr. Davis, do you have anything to add?
I do not. I don't have anything to add from previous discussions that we've had. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions or any a motion on the floor? This is a discussion we've had for a long time running, and we've come to the resolution component of that. Do I hear a motion regarding the ABM Building Solutions?
I make a motion, we adopt resolution number 2023-12-01, authorizing the town manager to execute a contract between ABM Building Solutions and the town of Farmville.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion at this time? Not hearing any. Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Hunter,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mrs. Amos.
yes,
The motion is passed.
Thank you. Item B, request adoption of resolution number 2023-1202. And this is the Bank of America financing for that ABM project. Is there any discussion, or do I hear a motion to move forward on the Bank of America financing?
I make a motion, we adopt resolution number 2023-12-02, Bank of America with the ABM financing.
Second.
Motion and second. Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Hunter,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mrs. Amos,
yes,
Mr. Reed.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. The only new business we have on the agenda is a pretty easy one, since we generally know when they're always going to fall, which is the request authorization to advertise the 2024 Town Council meeting dates. Do we have any discussion about those meeting dates at this time? Not hearing any. Can I get a motion to authorize advertisement of those meeting dates?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Hunter,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mrs. Amos,
yes,
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. All right, well, that was the meat of the agenda there. Quick and relatively painless. Mr. Davis, do you have a town manager's report at this time?
I do, Mayor. As you can tell, there's a slight delay in the splash pad. The contractors obviously are from out of town, out of state actually, and the weather has not been nice to us to pour much concrete or anything like that. So they're a little bit behind, but hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to get that moving again. The county's been working with a consultant, CTA Consultants out of Lynchburg, on looking at how to enhance coverage radio system-wise for the sheriff's office. They have a lot of dead spots in the county, but also the fire departments have even worse radios. They didn't have they haven't upgraded when we did our PD and the sheriff's office did theirs before us. We have trouble even. I can only speak for the town. I can't speak for the county fire departments, but I can for the town. We have trouble sometimes within town. I was talking to Daniel earlier today. Depending, sometimes you can be out in front of Chick-fil-A and it won't go all the way through. So we've known we have an issue, depending on where it is, and it's just not safe. There's the P25, but there's the one that we have and the sheriff's office has that is not a trunk system, which is more digitally favorable, and you can cover more area. And so the county is looked at, and for overall interoperability, to add the fire departments in. So I'll be bringing you some more information on that. They've gotten some numbers back from CTA. And so we would be looking at what it would cost the town portion to incorporate for our fire department, but then also now's the ability, even though we did the P25 conventional, to move to the trunking system, which will last us a lot longer. And then everybody be on the same page. So it's just an upgrade in what we have. I'll be bringing you some information on that probably in February to talk a little bit further about that. Employee luncheon is tomorrow at the sports arena from 11:30 to 2. So come join us if you can.
I got a question on the radios. I know once upon a time, we always kept a backup plan in case the system went down. Are we gonna be looking at that for this system as well?
Like I said, I'll bring you back some more information. Hopefully, I'm almost positive I'll be able to get the emergency coordinator from the county to come, who's been hands-on and with the consultants on a regular basis, to give you a presentation about what that does. But with a trunking system, there isn't the likelihood of not having coverage or connection is not as great. You're going to be able to have that coverage that you need. But I'll let them explain that to you and maybe get that question answered at that point in time as far as a backup.
Thank you.
That's all I got. All right. Thank you, Mr. Davis. We'll start with comments, town council, and go around the table. Mr. Hardy?
Merry Christmas, everybody. That's about all I have today.
Mr. Hunter?
I think I'm gonna follow him with just a Merry Christmas and be safe.
Mr. Parrott?
I'll follow suit.
Mr. Dwyer?
Well, I'm not going to follow the leader here. This is kind of self-serving, but not self-serving for me, but for our community. Farmville Rotary Club's been ringing the Salvation Army bell in the town of Farmville for probably at least 30 to 35 years. And we will be ringing the bell this Saturday at Walmart from 9 o'clock to 7. So what's the big deal? Well, first of all, it's an emergency services organization. As we know, there are plenty of people who, especially this time of year, have emergencies. Two, why the kettle and not just mailing the check into the home office for Salvation Army? Well, the reason is that 90% of the money that goes in the kettle stays in this community. Whereas if you send a check to some corporate office, 10% comes back to the community and 90% stays with the mothership, you might say, which too is important. But this is just an opportunity to really kind of help out in a pleasant way. And we're setting a goal of about $1,500, and I know we can make it. So if you're out, please save a couple bucks in your pocket and put it in the kettle. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Mr. Reed?
Yes, I'd just like to say Merry Christmas also, and a reminder of the street dedication for Reverend J. Samuel Williams, which will take place Friday at 2 o'clock at the corner of Watkins and Radford, to be changed to Williams Way.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Ms. Amos?
I think we were remiss to talk about the Christmas parade last week. It was wonderful. Are you going to talk about that in your wrap-up? Good job, JCs. It was wonderful, and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Absolutely. I was gonna to jump on that as well. And the comings and goings. Mr. Reed and I attended the National League of City Summit this past month, and it was a great learning experience with elected officials from across the country. And often, as I found myself in peer-to-peer discussions, I found that people were amazed at the work that we did here, and that the work we did here seemed to signify looking ahead and being bigger than we are. And I found great inspiration and motivation from that. Also, attended a roundtable discussion with the current administration and the governor's office and some other folks about creating a Virginia Outdoor Business Alliance. And so looking forward to continuing that discussion. And then we had the VML, Virginia Municipal League Executive Board here, as Mr. Reed is the president. They had their board meeting here in the town of Farmville, and we toured JPB, the new arena, and we toured the Moton Museum, and it was a good opportunity, not only for Mr. Reed to preside over his board meeting, but also to show off Farmville. So it's great. I will say the parade, the Christmas parade with the JCs put on, first time at night in quite some time, seemed like a huge success. Everybody I talked to had a fantastic time, and it was really cool to see the lights rolling through downtown and to see all the kids and the smiles on their faces. And also the holiday tree lighting. Thank you to the Farmville Downtown Partnership and the Chamber of Commerce for their efforts there in collaboration with the town. And once again, just a fantastic evening. Seems like we constantly hear the sort of cliche remark that people see those moments and go, man, it really is a Hallmark kind of town. And it is. And it's really lovely in those moments when we get to be together. So I appreciated those. We would like to say congratulations. That's out, right? Is that out now? Our community development director, Miss Ashley Atkins. Congratulations on that promotion, and it's great when we can build and promote from within and celebrate our own. So that is awesome. With that, I think I will close up my remarks and just say, please have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It really is, as I close out my first year as mayor, I find myself feeling very grateful and thankful for where I get to lay my head. This is an amazing town with amazing people who all work with a lot of passion to make it a better place. And I really, really appreciate that. And I appreciate the members up here who I get to serve with. It is an absolute honor to do the work with you, and I appreciate all your efforts. That said, we do have one last thing to do as we close out. We have a closed session. Mr. Hardy, will you read us in, please?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Farmville Town Council convene a closed meeting pursuant to the Code of Virginia in accordance with the provisions of paragraph A1 of section 2.2-3711 for the discussion of performance of clerk of council.
Second.
Motion and second. Ms. McKay, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Hunter,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mrs. Amos.
Yes.
Thank you. There should not be any action coming out of that closed session, and we will roll into that closed session now. Thank you very much. right, Mr. Hardy, will you please do us the honor of reading us out?
Now that he's here. Whereas the Farmville Town Council has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas Section 2.2-3712 of Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Farmville Town Council that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Farmville Town Council hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the Farmville Town Council.
Second.
Motion and second, Ms. McKay, roll call, please.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Hunter? Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mrs. Amos?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, do we have any more business to come before us before we finish up here?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion in lieu of the performance of the clerk of council that we increase her salary by 3%.
Second.
Motion and second, Ms. McKay, can you get a roll call vote on that, please?
Mr. Hunter?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mrs. Amos?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Well done. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.